We are here at CES 2019, and we are here with Attain, and we have a founder and the CEO, right, Mr. Herschel Petticord, and he's going to tell us more about his device, and we will cover an uncomfortable area of incontinence. But it's a very, very important area, obviously. A lot of people suffer from this, and there is a lot of stigma about it, but technology is helping people to deal with this very important issue. And the company device technology is applicable not only for urinary but also for fecal incontinence.
Correct.
Thank you for having us. Tell us more about your device.
Thank you, Michael. Well, In Control Medical, the creators of Attain, have been in business treating female urinary incontinence for about 7 years. Well over 100,000 women, we've solved their issue for them. So we took all of our knowledge and thought and created Attain, which can be used for both men and women urinary incontinence, but more importantly, men and women fecal incontinence. So roughly 20 million people in the U.S. have fecal incontinence. In fact, 24% of women over the age of 40 have fecal incontinence, but they don't want to talk to their doctor about it or anybody else. Our device will cure that incontinence, and they can do it at home in the privacy of their home without anybody having to know. So that's essentially the background behind the product. Incontinence is primarily a muscle issue.
Correct.
You've either got weak pelvic floor muscles, which affects both fecal and urinary, or you have an overactive detrusor muscle on top of your bladder. I mean, you hear it called overactive bladder. It's not really, the bladder isn't overactive, it's the muscle that sits on top of it. So our device calms that muscle and reestablishes the neural pathway between that muscle and the brain, eliminating urge incontinence. And 1 out of 2 women over the age of 50 have urge incontinence. So the market's huge, roughly 87 million potential people that we can sell to just in the U.S.
How does the device work?
All right, basically, this one probe can be used in women, it can be used vaginally, or it can be used rectally in both men and women. Once it's inserted, then it is then inflated. Now, why do we inflate the balloon? Well, it has two purposes. One, to make sure the electrodes are pressed deep against the motor points of the muscle. And number 2, the balloon acts as active resistance. When they squeeze against it, it pushes back.
Okay.
So it's kind of like lifting weights.
You
can go lift a barbell and get nothing from it, but if you add weights to it, you'll actually build muscle.
Okay.
So this is very similar to it's an exercise for your colon or your vagina, let's put it that way.
Okay.
But we send out 2 signals, one to strengthen pelvic floor muscles, and the other one to calm the detrusor muscle, strengthen the urinary sphincter and the anal sphincter. So it covers the whole gamut. And so once we inflate it, then they turn it on. Yeah, that's probably better.
Better like this.
Yes. So it says we already inflated, overinflated. So the arrow's showing me that I overinflated, so I'm going to start over again. All right, so it says start simulation. So I select a stimulation level to where you feel your muscles contracting. And at that point, that's where you want to stop. And it's an exercise program where the device is doing the strengthening for you. And it does it for 10 minutes a day. It's not a lifetime commitment. And in roughly 4 to 6 weeks, your issue will be cured. Now, if you quit using it then, in about 2 months, the issue will come back. So after you're dry or after you're no longer leaking from either orifice, then you use it once or twice a week to maintain. and you're cured. You no more pads, no more medications, no surgery. You just don't leak anymore. So, and
Your device is still you pending FDA clearance.
well, we have 5 other devices that have been on the market with FDA clearance before. This one we submitted, but as you may know, right now the FDA is pretty much closed with the government shutdown. So hopefully that'll be resolved soon, and we'll get our FDA clearance and be on the market with this product. And we sell direct to consumers, and we also have physicians that sell it from their office. So we sell to both consumers and physicians.
So you're working with clinicians,
Yes.
urologists, OBGYN,
Urologist,
primary care.
anybody that sees patients with urinary or fecal incontinence. Gastroenterologist. The University of Georgia just completed a big study with this for fecal incontinence, and it showed that our device was 3 times more effective than the current standard of care for fecal incontinence. That paper will be introduced in June. So the product works. If you've got incontinence, we'll cure it.
Can you tell us more about electrical stimulation? What do you deliver there?
Well, there are 2 different frequencies, but it's also an algorithm on how you deliver the electricity. So we did a lot of research trying to compare different methods of delivering electrical stimulation, because it's important that you leave a rest phase between the stimulation for the muscle to recover. I mean, you can have a long stimulation, but you're going to wear the muscle out, and it's not going to build strength. And we also have a biphasic waveform, so we strengthen both the short and long muscle fibers to deliver durability and long-term strength. So it doesn't hurt. You don't feel anything other than your muscles contracting. And once that part's over, then we want you to do your own contractions. So the woman has done her 7 minutes of stem, or the man, and then she does her own contractions. All right. So you see, it's telling her right now to squeeze.
Okay.
And it shows her that her own muscles did the job done. Because so many women try to exercise their pelvic floor muscles, but they never do if they're doing them right. So this gives them some verification, and of course each time they want to go a little bit higher. So it's a 10-minute program. It's based on common sense, science, and it works.
All right. And you're based in Wisconsin.
Brookfield, Wisconsin. We manufacture everything in Brookfield, Wisconsin. 90% of our products are also sourced in the United States. This one little black button right here, we have to buy it from China because it's so inexpensive, nobody in the United States makes it. But that's the only thing that's not made in the United States.
All right. Thank you for working on this very important problem and bringing attention, and good luck.
It works so well, Michael. We guarantee it. If you buy the product and you use it as directed, 10 minutes a day, 6 days a week, and at the end of 90 days, if you're not satisfied with your results, we give you all your money back. That's how well it works. We wouldn't do that confident if it didn't work.
All right. Good luck. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure seeing you.